Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Armageddon. Today we're going to be trying this week's Midweek Magic event, which in celebration of Halloween is Phantom Mixed Up Innistrad Sealed. So you open 4 packs of Shadows over Innistrad Remastered and 2 packs of Innistrad Double Feature, which means cards from both Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow. I've already gone through and made my deck, so I'll show that to you in a second. I didn't want to bore you with deck creation. But as a reminder, of course, Midweek Magic is a free event, which means, of course, that we don't keep the cards that we drafted. And you win rare card rewards for the first 2 games you win, and then a mystery cosmetic for the 3rd game you win in this event. So let's quickly take a look at the deck. And this deck, as you can see, is mostly green-white. That was let me get in most of my rares. So Catilda, Gisela, sadly don't have Bruna to go with Gisela to make Bruzella. And then by invitation only. Now we are a creature heavy deck, so by invitation only, maybe not the greatest. But it's nice to have something like that up our sleeve. And then we're splashing with 1 Swamp, Traveler's Amulet, and Deathcap Cultivator. We're splashing Dark Salvation, which can create a ton of zombies if we're able to sink a lot of mana into it. So that's a great way to get into a game-winning board state. And then our other rares are Investigator's Journal, which gives us some card advantage, and hopefully we'll put a lot of suspect counters on it, because we'll be playing lots of creatures before we play the journal. And Sage of Ancient Lore, probably not going to be the biggest in our deck, just because we don't have a ton of card draw to keep our hand filled for it. But it's still powerful, and it draws a card when it enters, which is pretty nice. So that's our deck. So let's take it into the queue and play some games. On the play, unfortunately, I don't think I can keep this. I have only planes, and then my first play with the lands that I have is not until turn 4, when I really want to be getting either Hinterland Logger or Harvesttide Sentry down as soon as possible. So unfortunately, I think we have to go down to 6 here. Alright, we can keep this. Only 2 lands, but we've got Ramp with Deathcap Cultivator, by invitation only to catch us back up. Sigardian Paladin, really only good with Catilda, because Catilda is our only way of putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures. So we'll have to hope we find Catilda. And then we've got Sigardian Priest as some removal. So I think we'll try this. Then what to bottom? Could be by invitation only. Alright, we'll do that. Opponent also mulligans. It's less bad to mulligan to 6 on the draw than on the play. Opponent plays Mountain, leads with Insolent Neonate, so they're an aggressive red deck. Alright, we draw Faithbearer Paladin. Really want to draw a land, because then I can play Cultivator on 2, and if I hit my land drop, I can play Sigardian Paladin on 3. And it must be holding up Insolent Neonate's ability. which is great in the late game. Opponent is green-red. They play Dig Up to find a land. I'm assuming it would be difficult for them to cleave Dig Up. Unfortunately, we don't draw a land. That's the downside of keeping a hand with 2 lands. That was also unfortunate, since we're missing our land drop. I'll play Harvest-Tide Sentry since that's aggressive. I can't block the Innate with only 1 creature anyway, so I might as well play a creature that attacks in well. Finally hit our 3rd land. And then, if I don't hit land, then Catilda would be a great draw. Interland Logger. Alright, Harvest-Tide Sentry can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Unfortunately, that means they can still block with the Boar. And I don't want to trade Harvest-Tide Sentry for the Boar, because I want to tap it down with the Sigardian Priest. Don't like the way opponent's looking at my creatures here. No blocks. Alright, we hit land 4. I wish I'd been hitting my land drops and had land 5 already, because then I could either play Faithbearer Paladin or play Sigardian Paladin, hold up Sigardian Priest. Cloak Cadet can't block Harvest-Tide Sentry, so we'll get in there. That was a bit of a disaster. Right there. Alright, we hit land 5. Harvest-Tide Sentry doesn't have Coven enabled. And then I think we attack with Sigardian Priest. Age of Ancient Lore is going to be pretty small. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have removal for my Paladin. They don't. Alright. So I think what we're going to do is hold up Sigardian Priest to tap down the Sunstreak Phoenix. And Harvesttide Sentry can't attack because Cloaked Cadet can block. Hits their land. The alternative is I could tap the Cloak Cadet. No, I can't because it's human. Sigardian Priest can only tap non-human creatures. Oh, I just dropped. Oh, and the game dropped. Okay, well, I guess we'll try again. And hopefully that doesn't happen. Well, I'm not sure how things were going to go in that game. Opponents seem to be in a pretty good spot. I didn't draw my removal, and they had drawn some of theirs, so I don't know if I would have won that game. The best I could have hoped for was a board stall, and then hope to draw like a Gisela or something like that. Anyway, on we go. Okay, on the play, I do have plenty of early creatures, and then we do have bound my Moonsilver as early removal. Rabid Bite, of course, only works with creatures in play. We do have Gisela. I don't really want to go down to 6. I've got both my colors, so I think we'll keep it and hope to draw some early creatures. Don't need that untapped, so I don't need to reveal land. Doesn't really matter either way. We draw our third land, that's useful. Opponent plays Steadfast Cathar. Don't particularly want to bound by Moonsilver that, but I do want to be efficient with my mana. And if we don't hit a land, to play, I guess, Gisela, then I'm not going to be too happy about that. And of course we draw another 4-drop with Search Party Captain. Now, the nice thing about Bound by Moonsilver is I can sacrifice it to move it. We didn't draw a land, but at least we drew something we can play. I think we'll take 2 from Bereaved Survivor. We draw land 4. Do I want to trade the Sentry for the Spore Crawler? That does transform Bereaved Survivor. I hope the opponent doesn't have removal here. It's their 5th land. Plays Ironclad Slayer. That's an interesting attack. Gisela does have first strike, but if they have a way of giving Dauntless Avenger more than 4 toughness, I lose Gisela, which I don't think I can risk, so we'll take it. Gisela also has lifelink, so that's less bad too. Alright, this is good, because this means we can attack with Gisela, play Search Party Captain, and still play Rabid Bite. Get Hinterland Logger, which we could play. I think we play Rabid Bite. And then we use Rabid Bite with Gisela to gain the benefit of lifelink. And then if we hit our land, we can play Sigardian Paladin and Hinterland Logger. Otherwise, we can play Thornhide Wolves. So, I'm not sure what opponent had, or if they had anything when they attacked Dauntless Avenger. Alright. So, I wonder if opponent has something they can do when they attack. I'm not familiar with all the combat tricks in the Innistrad sets. So, we'll block, see what happens. Okay, so that wouldn't have killed... They wouldn't have been able to target Gisela with that anyway. We'll attack with Gisela, play Thornhide Wolves. Thornhide Wolves gives you a sense of the power level of the Shadows over Innistrad block, where it's a vanilla 4/5 for 5. Oh, they have removal for it. Well, that's unfortunate. Fortunately, Gisela has dodged all of the opponent's removal. Both Valorous Stance can't target Gisela, nor could Puncturing Light. Alright, then we draw land 6 so we can play Sigardian Paladin, and all of the opponent's creatures are human. Bound by Boon Silver doesn't prevent activated abilities, so I can't stop Gavony Trapper. And then, oh, opponent fails to tap Gisela. So we get in one more attack with Gisela. Not sure if we'll get in too many more. So opponent doesn't have, I don't have a target for Sigardian Priest. Oh. Opponent was green-white. Well, fortunately, opponent decided they were too far behind. So, there we go. On we go. Oh wait. Let's check out our rare card reward. I keep forgetting that. And go to stop the video to go to the next game. That's our uncommon reward for winning a game. So here's the rare. Gems for rare that I have the full collection of from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. A little surprised I don't have a complete collection of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, but that's alright. On we go. Okay, we're on the draw this time. But I've got 3 lands, both colors, Deathcap Cultivator, which also provides black if I draw... what's its face? Can't remember the name of the card. But my 1 black splash. And then Deathcap Cultivator also allows me to play Sigardian Paladin on 3. And if I draw my 4th land in time, Faithbearer Paladin on 4. So I think that's our turn 2 play. So we'll keep this. Opponent leads with Insolent Neonate. We draw land 4. Opponent is red-white, plays a tap land. So, like we planned, we'll play Deathcap Cultivator. Oh yeah, Gavony Silversmith. Forgot I had that to provide +1/+1 counters. So hopefully opponent doesn't have removal for my Deathcap Cultivator. So we'll have to take 5 here. Opponent also playing black, and they are... Gisela, you say? I can't cast her, she's double white, and I only have 1 white source. So Sigardian Paladin it is. Opponent has Brutal Cathar for Sigardian Paladin. We draw Swamp. Probably the worst draw in our deck, because Deathcap Cultivator already gives us black. A Plains would have been a lot better. People seem to be playing Ironclad Slayer as a 3-mana creature with no auras or equipment in their graveyard. There's Catilda. Alright, so Fatebearer Paladin would trade for Ironclad Slayer and Daybreak Combatants. I think we hold back, because with Catilda we can put +1/+1 counters on our creatures, so Fatebearer Paladin will get out of range. Hunt has Devil's Playground. Here's Bound by Moonsilver. Still only having one white source is definitely a bit of a problem, since I can only play one spell. And I can't activate... Oh, I can activate Catilda. So I could cast Gisela, although that would mean tapping Gavany Silversmith and Fatebearer Paladin. Still no great targets for Bound by Moonsilver. Alright, so they can trade Ironclad Slayer for Harvesttide Sentry. But they can't block with the Devils. Oh, draws 2 with Tormenting Voice. We're pretty much just going to have to let the Devils attack in unopposed until I can get some +1/+1 counters on creatures. Draven Inspector is fine. No blocks. Alright, Traveler's Amulet. Not exactly a great draw. Alright, Harvesttide Sentry can attack, because again, still only the Ironclad Slayer can block it. Faithbearer Paladin still can't attack, even with Catilda's activated ability. Alright, that's a problem. So I'll have to get Gisela down next turn. Sacrifice Traveler's Amulet to get another Plains. Bound by Moonsilver, the Flameblade Angel. Alright, now that I've got a counter on Harvesttide Sentry, I don't want to trade it for Ironclad Slayer. So we'll wait until we can put 2 more +1/+1 counters on it. Alright, so opponent flips Moonrage Brute, and their plan might be to flip it back by casting 2 spells. We might have to move it . Well, wasted a mana there. Alright, so now that the Moonrage Brute is bound by Moonsilver, it shouldn't be able to transform. And of course they hit Anguish Unmaking. Well, that's too bad. On we go. Okay, on the play. Unfortunately, only 2 lands, and they're both plains. And I really need a forest. Basically, in my first draw step, so I can play Catilda on curve. That does let me ramp out cards, but I think this is too risky, so we'll take a mulligan. Alright. I think this is keepable. And we've got Circle of Confinement as early removal, and maybe what we'll do is we'll avoid playing any creatures until we can blow up opponent's board with by invitation only, and then play Gisela afterward and start getting in there. So as for what I'm going to send down, I gotta keep all the lands, and so I think we send Rabid Bite, since our only creature in hand is Gisela. We can't cast until turn 4, and I need creatures to cast Rabid Bite. Opponent still deciding whether to keep a hand of 7 cards or go down to 6. They're in the draw, so it's less punishing to go down to 6. Opponent keeps 7. So we start with some disadvantage. Fortified Village. No reason to play it untapped. And then, what would be good draws? Traveler's Amulet would be fine. The Investigator's Journal would not. A Plains would be a good draw, because I need that for both Gisela and by invitation only. Opponent seems to have dropped. Hopefully they reconnect. They definitely had elected to keep a hand of 7. Now, luckily for them, we're not really able to take advantage of them disconnecting. There they go. They're back on. So they missed a turn. Swamp. Probably worst draw. The Investigator's Journal would be the only one that would be even worse. But I need a Plains. And another double white card. Plains are the most common land in the deck. I am drawing any, so there are 8 in 31. I think I will play Circle of Confinement on Lamphole Harrier. Opponent green-red. I have a 1 in 4 chance of drawing a Plains, roughly. Just a bit better then. Uh-oh. Opponent is... Oh, there they go. Opponent hits their third land. Deathcap Cultivator doesn't really do anything for me. And I still think so. I think I'll wait. Hope to draw planes. Looks like opponent has something they can do at instant speed. This is unfortunate. Catilda gives me double white. But I don't really want to play Catilda just to blow everything up with by invitation only. Opponent not playing out any creatures. There's our other planes. Alright, so by invitation only, obviously not looking too good, since opponent, their only creature is Deranged Whelp, which I've enchanted with Bound by Moonsilver anyway. They could be sitting on, I guess they could be sitting on a bunch of removal. I think we play Gisela here. Opponent just hasn't done anything. So if they don't have removal for Gisela, we can start getting in there. Although we might not play out our other creatures just yet. Opponent maybe missing their third color. Alright, so they didn't have a sacrifice effect for Gisela. For which I am grateful. Holding priority. Could just be for their blood token. They didn't seem to have a spell on their second main phase on their turn when they stole Gisela with Bloody Betrayal. Uh-oh. Has opponent disconnected again? No. Alright, so we're back even Steven. Don't have any reason. Okay, opponent must have... There we go. So, effectively, Gisela got them, they needed 2 removal spells, and they basically wasted their Bloody Betrayal. So Gisela would have liked to have got a few hits in with her, but she still got some work done. Alright, so... I could play Deathcap Cultivator, because I've got a lot of mana, so it's not a big deal if Deathcap Cultivator dies, but having an extra mana could be good if I draw my Black Splash, the card. I keep forgetting the name. Right now, I can cast it for X equals 4. Unfortunately, the only target for the -1/-1 ability with that spell is the Deranged Whelp, which is enchanted by Bound with Moonsilver, so that's not great. Uh-oh, opponent is roping out again. Maybe they've disconnected this time? Okay. Yeah, I was hoping that by invitation only would be great to take out opponent's board, and then I start playing my creatures, and it's basically been rotting my hand because opponents only played 2 creatures, which I suppose I could have waited to use removal on and blown them up with by invitation only, but I think it was still the right choice at the time because I still didn't have double white for by invitation only. Alright, now opponent does seem to have disconnected. They're timing out. Oh, there it is. Dark Salvation. Well, I guess I might as well cast Dark Salvation. For X equals 4. And sadly not going to be able to take advantage of the other ability to give -4/-4 with all of my zombies, but I want to have Bound by Moonsilver on the battlefield for me to move if I need to. pulling priority. Could just be for the blood token. But they appear to have disconnected. Okay. Well, we got to cast our Black Splash. Didn't see it resolve, so that was fun. Definitely a strange game. Anyway, on we go. Oh, hang on. I almost forgot again to look at our rare card well reward. Individual card reward, I should say. So let's see what we got. Ooh, mythic. Overlord of the Flood Pits. Not bad, not bad. Hasn't seen a lot of constructed play, I don't think. But pretty strong card. I think it's definitely a good addition in Brawl. Anyway, on we go. On the play. I think we keep this. We've got 3 lands, both of our primary colors, and then lead with Dawnheart Disciple. I could ramp with Deathcap Cultivator, but I don't really need to. Whereas this way I might get some damage in. Opponent leads with Evolving Wilds. Patches Island. Opponent is blue-red. We'll play Deathcap Cultivator first main to trigger Dawnheart Disciple. We'll attack to send a message. At least opponent didn't remove the Dawnheart Disciple. The opponent is Teamer Colors. Alright, Fortified Village. Not bad. We'll reveal Forest. So I can play Faithbearer Paladin. Alright, well that was kind of annoying, but on the other hand, it means they aren't countering Catilda or Sigardian Priest. Alright, let's play Sigardian Priest. And on the other hand, maybe they're holding up another counterspell that counters target spell unless you pay 4. Like convoluted, what do you call it? Or another flip the switch. So I think maybe in this case even though it would be more efficient to try and play Catilda and get Dawnheart Disciple up to a 4/4. Alright, so now we can resolve Catilda. I'm surprised they didn't kill Dawnheart Disciple with their Moonranger Slash. This has been very annoying. Play Catilda again. Opponent has something they can do for 1 mana. Alright. Well. Alright, so Circle of Confinement doesn't exile Helena and Elena, but Fiend Hunter does. Sigardian Priest can't tap them because they're human. And hopefully opponents use all their removal. Alright, opponent cracks a clue, that's pretty good. It's their 5th land. Plays Spore Crawler. I can exile that with Circle of Confinement. Or just tap it down with Sigardian Priest. Attack for 3. Oh, I don't know why I didn't attack with Fiend Hunter. Opponent should be at 3. Well, this is only going to have 2 suspect counters on it. Oh, pardon the notify. I just got a text message notification. Forgot to turn the sound off my phone. Alright, opponent's down to 2. And we've got 3 attackers. Opponent should be at 1, so I should have 3 lethal attackers. Only getting 2 suspect counters was a little bit of a bummer. Alright, that's useful. Oh, Helena and Elena can't block Harvesttide Sentry. So there we go. We got her done. Alright. So let's take a look at our mystery cosmetic. Got Totem Trans for winning a game. And, yep, Parallax card style of Optimistic Scavenger. That's the Optimistic Scavenger is a key part of various white Aura decks in Standard right now. And I'm sure it's being featured in other formats as well in Aura decks. So there we go. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. We got to play with some of our bombs. We got to enable Coven for the Harvesttide Sentry, which turned out to be very important that last game. The other time we had it was the game we lost, unfortunately, to opponent's Red Angel there. But overall, pretty happy with how things turned out. Never got to cast by invitation only, despite trying to hold it onto it and not play any creatures for one game so that I could use it to blow out opponent, but they never played into it. They only ever played the 2 creatures that game, so that was a pretty weird one. Anyway, all told, pretty fun. Dark Salvation, the only game we cast it didn't really matter because opponent timed out, but still pretty fun. Investigator's Journal, even with only a couple of counters on it, proved to be pretty useful, so that was alright. Gisela was good. Sigardian Paladin was a removal magnet. I never got to take advantage of its ability. And then Catilda only really used her ability that one game, the game we lost, but she was pretty good. She was also a removal magnet. Never saw Reaper of Flight Moonsilver. We didn't play Sage of Ancient Lore. Faithbearer Paladin was pretty good. Search Party Captain was alright. The Fiend Hunter did pretty well there for a while, until opponent drew removal for it. Anyway, overall, pretty happy with how things turned out. Hope you enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and have a great one. Bye.